Sawadika, thank you for joining us on Newsline. We're broadcasting live on NBT, Radio Thailand FM 88, and also on NBT World. It's a Tuesday today, and the date is June 14th of 2016, and you're with me, Sandra Hanutsaha. In today's segment of Thailand Moves Forward, our first story is about Prime Minister General Prayut Chan-o-cha opening sub-district level learning centers for the sufficiency economy philosophy and new agricultural theory across the country. These centers are aimed at increasing the quality of life in rural areas. The Prime Minister on Monday presided over the opening ceremony of these centers, whose mission is to disseminate His Majesty the King's sufficiency economy philosophy and new agricultural theory. These centers will use educational tools of non-formal education centers and the Internal Security Operations Command in educating the people. General Prayut said during the opening ceremony that the government is trying to tackle the country's economic problems and strengthen local economies based on these two concepts. More than 10,000 learning centers will be established nationwide. The Prime Minister has reminded all state agencies to foster awareness of the government's work while asserting administrative efficacy must be improved by the year 2017. Prime Minister General Prayut Chan-o-cha held a meeting on improving the efficiency of public services and driving the Thai economy with relevant agencies. At the meeting, the Premier discussed efforts to improve private sector access to state services using 10 metrics set by the World Bank, which include the ability to receive construction permits, the ability to register assets, and the ability to pay taxes. He pointed out the government is still working on increasing private sector access to food and drug registrations, investment support, and environmental assessment. The Prime Minister called for more to be done to achieve such improvements, suggesting the use of information technology, reduction of paperwork, and greater efforts to foster understanding among the public. He affirmed that all state work must show signs of improvement by next year. The World Bank recently ranked Thailand at 49 on a list of 189 countries considered business accessible. Prime Minister General Prayut Chan-o-cha is scheduled to take a 3-day visit to India from June 16th to 18th. The visit aims to deepen diplomatic ties between the two countries. Mr. Grakpan Rukjamnong, Director General of the Department of South Asian, Middle East and African Affairs under the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, said the visit is a good opportunity for both countries. Thailand and India are expected to discuss a range of issues, including education, tourism, trade and investment, and information and communication. The Prime Minister is also expected to witness the signing of memorandums of understanding for economic cooperation. During the visit, General Prayut will be accompanied by Deputy Prime Minister Somkit Jatusipitak and the heads of several ministries, including the Ministers for Industry and Information and Communication Technology.
The visit, this coming visit, of course, it's a good opportunity for the two Prime Ministers to sit down and to see how are we going to promote our cooperations and collaborations in all spectrum of cooperations between the two countries, may it be on economic, social and political, security, science, S&T, R&D. Also, it covers in all spectrum of the cooperation between the two countries. We look forward that the outcome of the visit would pave the way on how the two countries would be able to further promote the already existing relations between the two countries.
Mr. Krokpan added that Thailand and India will celebrate the 70th anniversary of diplomatic relations next year. The Ministry of Defense is joining hands with the National Anti-Corruption Commission, or NACC, to prevent and eradicate corruption within all units under the ministry. Deputy Prime Minister and Defense Minister General Prawit Wongsuwon hosted the signing of a cooperation agreement between his ministry and the NACC to implement an anti-corruption project. In compliance with the policy of the government and the National Council for Peace and Order, General Prawit affirmed the Ministry of Defense has been striving to ensure that budget expenditures and other operations of all agencies under its command are free of corruption and are carried out for the good of the public. Meanwhile, NACC Chairman Wacharaphon Prasan Rachakit noted that the ministry requires a large budget as it has the responsibility of overseeing security forces and procuring military equipment for the national defense. Therefore, he said the prevention and suppression of corrupt practices in the ministry is considered a national agenda, while the absence of corruption will also help foster a sense of pride in security personnel. The Ministry of Agriculture and Cooperatives has said that the European Union will dispatch a committee to inspect the country's progress on tackling illegal fishing activities. The ministry has denied news of a deadline extension, red or yellow card issuance, or other forms of political pressure from the EU. Agriculture and Cooperatives Minister General Chatchai Sarikanya revealed that at the end of this month, the European Union, or EU, will send officials to inspect the progress of Thailand's implementation of vessel monitoring systems and the enforcement of related legislation. General Chatchai affirmed that officials have enforced the new 2015 Thai Fisheries Act and have passed several organic farming laws. He also denied claims that the EU had given Thailand a timeline extension, a red or yellow card, or issued any other form of political action. He also spoke of the recent verdict by the criminal court on corruption charges related to a fertilizer procurement program by the previous agriculture minister and related officials, saying it serves as an important lesson for civil servants on ethics and work transparency. The Social Committee of the National Legislative Assembly, or NLA, has held a seminar on ensuring child safety in order to establish emergency procedures at schools. The NLA Committee on Social Affairs, Youth, Women, Children, the Elderly, the Disabled, and the Disadvantaged held a roundtable discussion bringing up the recent fire at a student dormitory in Chiang Rai Province as a case study of the dangers and the consequences that can occur. The discussion was attended by qualified professionals, academics, and representatives of educational institutions who proposed methods of security procedures against all dangers to children. The proposals included expanding student participation, educating parents, including safety skills as part of the curriculum, and ensuring that facilities are up to international safety standards. The results of the seminar will be incorporated in future legislation. The National Reform Steering Assembly, or NRSA, has considered reforms of police reshuffling with an aim to make the process more fair and to protect it from political interference. At its latest meeting, the NRSA reviewed a report from its Committee on Legal and Judicial System Reform, which focused on the reshuffling of police officers. The report laid out new standards and processes for the transfer of and promotion of officers. Suggested changes included having promotions to deputy commander be considered on seniority, while having higher ranks be considered on seniority as well as knowledge and past behavior. The report stated that its recommendations would make police reshuffling more impervious to political interference, while also bolstering police morale. The majority of NRSA members concurred with the ideas presented in the report and believe they will remedy the problem of police officers seeking favors during reshuffles. The Ministry of Industry has announced the success of the SME Provincial Champions Project, which was aimed at improving the capabilities of small and medium enterprises in Thailand. And our correspondent, Kun Niranuttara Jakwanit, has the story for us.
The Ministry of Industry, in collaboration with the Department of Industrial Promotion, or DIP, the Office of Small and Medium Enterprise Promotion, or OSMEP, and related agencies from both the public and private sectors, including the Ministry of Commerce, the Ministry of Interior, and the Thai Chamber of Commerce, combined efforts to hold the event, which served as a platform for entrepreneurs in SME Provincial Champions Project to showcase their products and business models. Somchai Hanhiran, Director General of the Department of Industrial Promotion, said the objective of the project is to create business prototypes that have the potential to mobilize the country's economy. Potential SME entrepreneurs were selected from each province and were positioned to expand businesses in a sustainable manner.
Actually, this project we divided into SME into three groups. The first group is we call Rising Star, and second group is Startup, and the third one is about the turnaround. And each group they has different characteristics and different, of course, they need different assistance. And for Ministry of Industry, we are responsible for the turnaround groups. We help them to improve their production process as well as the production design, packaging. And it's turned out we have some examples of the SME that the Ministry of Industry has assist them to help them to improve enterprises quite a lot. We reduce the cost of productions over 10%, and we also help them to create a new products. And of course, this new product will respond to the needs of the customer as well.
Over 200 small and medium businesses from 77 provinces throughout the country have joined in this project. Mr. Somchai added that the project has provided integrated support to SMEs entrepreneurs to enable them to grow from small to large scale and to be able to enter the global supply chain. I'm Niranuttara Jakwanit reporting.
Thank you to Kuninunut for that report. And on to other news, the Export-Import Bank of Thailand, or Exim Bank, has announced that it will shift focus to providing support for businesses which are relevant to the government's strategies to boost Thai exports. Exim Bank President Pisit Seri Watana on Monday said the bank has recently adopted a new role to support such businesses by issuing credit guarantees for exports, as well as providing loans for trade and investment expansion. The bank is urgently developing comprehensive services for SMEs and lending, while issuing credit guarantees for entrepreneurs who are investing in foreign countries, especially the CLMV and new markets. The president confirmed that the bank will still provide financial assistance for businesses of all sizes. Mr. Pisit also predicted that Thailand's export sector will improve in the second half of the year and suggested that it urgently adjust production through innovation in order to enhance competitiveness in the upper market segment. The Ministry of Public Health has revealed that more than 18,000 people have come down with dengue fever since the beginning of this year. Permanent Secretary for Public Health, Sopon Mekton, said more than 18,300 people were infected with the dengue virus from January 1st to June 7th, of whom 16 have died. Although the number of dengue patients has fallen by 14% from last year, 5 more people were killed by the disease. The majority of infections have been occurring in the Central Plains. To mitigate the dengue outbreak this year, the Ministry of Public Health has instructed related agencies to take a proactive approach to prevention, reducing the number of infections and curing those infected. Dr. Sopon added that anyone whose fever does not show improvement after 2 days should visit their local hospital for medical attention or call the hotline, which is 1442, for advice. And that is the end of today's edition of Thailand Moves Forward. Up next in the ASEAN News segment, we have a special report on Vietnam's water puppetry. But first, we'll have a look at the exchange rates and also the commodity prices. Don't go away.
Don't keep your creativity to yourself. Set your imagination free and share it with the world. Calling all college students across the nation. Join NBT World's Young Animator Contest. Create your own animation in English on the theme Trust in Thailand that reflects the Thai identity and promotes a favorable image of Thailand to the world. Submit your animated video no longer than 3 minutes by June 30th to win scholarship prizes totaling 200,000 baht. For more information, visit thainews.prd.go.th/en. Take the chance to demonstrate your talent. The time starts now.
If the earth is your home, the ocean is theirs as well. Working together, the government and private sector can solve all the issues currently facing the Thai fishing industry. From legitimizing fishing operations to helping out our fellow fishermen and collaborating with international parties.
ตอนนี้ถึงเวลาแล้วนะครับที่เราจะต้องมาร่วมมือกันทำให้มันถูกต้องมันก็ต้องปรับตัวในช่วงแรกแต่ในระยะยาวมันก็คุ้มค่า
ถ้าไม่มีอาชีพนี้เราก็ไม่รู้จะทำอะไรกันแล้วผมก็พร้อมครับที่จะเป็นส่วนหนึ่งในการแก้ปัญหา
Welcome back. You're watching Newsline. Many people are familiar with shadow puppetry or puppets performed on an ordinary stage. But in Vietnam, puppetry takes on charming and unique characteristics. Our correspondent, Kun Pimchanok Ratanapiset, takes us to see the most famous traditional puppet show in Hanoi.
Water puppetry, a well-known unique Vietnamese art, was found in 1734. Its special component is the shell being played in the pond. If there are any, players will set a pool up instead. The water puppetry plays illustrate Vietnamese ways of life in the past, including agriculture and 3 Vietnamese wars, which reflect farmers as main actors in the community and their attempt to protect their country. In Vietnam, water puppetry is a fascinating tradition that has delighted visitors to the country for centuries. If you haven't seen it before, it is a unique form of entertainment, and audiences are amazed at how puppeteers can move. To find out more about water puppetry, we spoke with the artist and the deputy director of the theater. In Dao Tuk village, villagers will teach their lineages to be able to perform the show and build the wooden water puppetry. The village headman told us the water puppetry shows are performed at abroad such as China, Japan, Thailand, France, and Netherlands. These days, there are much more development in water puppetry. The scripts are also developed so that they will suit to the specific audience groups, and the water puppetry show can be played both in the water and on the ground. In the meantime, NBT World got an opportunity to talk to Mr. Nguyen Tien Sung, Deputy Director of the Vietnam National Water Puppetry Theater, who pointed out the government support in water puppetry.
Tháng 3 năm 2016,
Government has always supported water puppetry performance, as we can clearly see from its 60th anniversary of the National Theatre celebration. This conforms with the former Ho Chi Minh president's policy, which aims to teach children and promulgate Vietnamese culture to foreigners. The theatre holds a show every day from 2 rounds to 10 rounds a day. The theatre holds 2 to 10 shows every day. Moreover, there are also knowledge and skills in water puppetry exchanges.
Although the cost of water puppetry performance takes up in a big amount, Vietnamese puppetry still keep performing the show in order to maintain and disseminate its priceless art and culture for people in the next generation. I'm Phim Chanok Ratanapised, NBT World, Hanoi, Vietnam.
Thank you to Khun Phim Chanok for that report. And the neighboring country's Economic Development Cooperation Agency, or NEDA, has reported that its project to aid Lao PDR in building a road connecting Hong Sa and Luang Prabang was completed under budget by 100 million baht, with the Lao government suggesting the remaining funds be used to further develop the roadway. At a seminar titled Economic Opportunities in Luang Prabang, Lao PDR's head of civil engineering and transport suggested that the remaining 100 million baht from the Hong Sa Luang Prabang road project provided by the Thai government through the agency be used to build village connections along the 114-kilometer roadway. The office also pointed out that the funds could be used to extend the road by another 10 kilometers to connect it to a bridge crossing the Mekong River. The agency has pointed out that according to the terms of the project, leftover funding must be returned to the Ministry of Finance before further usage. It recommended, however, that a proposal be submitted directly to the Prime Minister when he visits Lao PDR for an ASEAN summit this November. And that's all the time we have for this edition of Newsline. For any comments or suggestions, do feel free to email them to us at newsline.nbt@gmail.com. You can also follow us on Facebook by typing in NNT, and have a look at our website at thainews.prd.go.th/en. Now today we're going to say goodbye with sad footage of the Eiffel Tower, which lit up in rainbow colors in support of those killed in the Orlando massacre. I'm Sandra Hanu Sahat for Newsline. Have a good day. Sawadee ka.